Hello everyone, I'm Duke James. This is not Fez, Vietnam 3.0. Alright, I'm gonna attack Lanzang. Ayutthaya is allied with them, but they're fighting with us, so they shouldn't join that. Speaking of Ayutthaya, okay, their army's all the way down south, so I could probably peace out Malacca and get war ups from them. They're just allied with this country over here, which shouldn't be a problem. They also only have 2 forts. 3 forts? Oh, there's a castle up here. It has no one in it. This should fall, actually, pretty quickly. It's 44%. Alright, they took Malacca's capital down there. They will give me 10% of their income each month. 12 ducats. They're in a different trade node, so getting the transfer trade power really wouldn't do much. These guys. I mean, they can keep their alliance, that's fine. I'll take the money. I get 12 ducats. It's good enough. That's 6 months worth of deficit. They hired troops. They hired 1 troop from Bengal. Okay. Alright, run up here, grab this fort. There's only 200 men in there. 208 men. Should fall quickly. Let's see, I think it's been a couple of years. Another census. I'm really curious. This is still building. And that one is still building. Should be done relatively soon, so I don't imagine the drop in resident deaths is going to be that pronounced without those 2 built. Yeah, it's actually increased a little bit, but my resident size has increased as well, which is interesting. Yeah, consumer and industrial goods not budging at all. Interesting. So I'm gonna need a lot of money to build amenities then. Can cause those guys to just run. Break off their siege. While I try and grab their capital. Take out that stack. With only 4,000 men, probably shouldn't be able to siege down much. All of my provinces, at least the fort level 2s, require 5,000 troops, which they now have. They built men. I think I can peace out. Actually, I might as well just wait for this. There we go. Alright, so they transfer trade power, humiliate them. Should get me above 50 for a little bit. War reps. Ayutthaya has broken their... Nope, they're still allied with Lanzing, interestingly. So as long as they're allied, I don't want to not have them in the war with me, so I'll stay with Khmer. And actually, I can do this. So if I don't do taxes, if I don't lower taxes, I'm actually positive income now. Because the peasants pay me 88 ducats. If I were to give them tax relief, they'd pay me like 37 ducats, so I'd be negative. So that's good to know. If I'm in a crunch, I can get positive by not giving them tax relief. My property income is now positive, 2.3 ducats, so I'm actually making money from that. And they've split, I assume industry is the urban industry, property being rural property. So that's good that they split that. So I'm also making 9 ducats from urban industry now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and provide temporary tax relief. Because then I can do this. Protect commercial interests, so I get that from 5 to 6. It pisses off the nobles now. But the burghers like it. The burghers have 68% of the commercial property in the country, so I think I'll take commerce property from them. I'm a little hesitant to do that because commerce property goes up or it goes down. It could potentially be negative a lot, it could be positive a lot, so it's very hard to it's hard to anticipate how much money you'll make, because you can make a lot from it or lose a lot. So I'm going to do this, which apparently, I guess you don't need trade or plutocracy ideas anymore, but I went ahead and I took trade anyway. Which is what I thought, but... So that really hurts the noble loyalty, actually. I can go ahead and do these. I didn't do them before. And I could also grant special commissions to loyalists before I get out of this, and if I had a little bit extra money, I would do grand celebrations, but I don't. So that takes care of the nobles somewhat. The burghers would be plus 20, plus 2 consultation, 40 relations. So I'm going to go ahead and at least see how much commerce property I could take from them. In my Fez campaign, I would take property from them and then I would just lose it over time. And I'm not sure what happened to that, if it was gone or if it went back to the burghers. Current scope, every province. And that would give me 187 units, which is half of what they have. They make about 400 ducats. That's not all from commerce. $15 loyalty, 1 consultation, 20 relations, so pretty much the net effect, I'd actually be up doing that. It's really just, it's going to hurt my stability. So I'll go ahead and do that. Enact that. I go down to -1. It's also entirely possible that the burghers grow their commerce property faster than mine, so it causes my share to decrease, but my share doesn't actually decrease. I don't know why I wanted to look at this, it's not going to update. State-sponsored commerce. I'm actually going to hold off on this for that trade efficiency, so I should make more money from trade now because I'm not doing that. Oh, I have no naval materials. Put those guys in port for now. Go ahead and loot that. So I want this province from Lanzing. That's the last province that I need. But in typical fashion, I can go ahead and take some other of their provinces. Okay, it looks like Lan Na actually took Mong Mao's territory. So I was thinking either sell this to Mong Mao and make them a tributary, or sell this to Mong Mao and make them a tributary. Lan Na now owns these provinces, so they've blocked Mong Mao off. So I could either get these back to Mong Mao, or just sell this to Lan Na. Who only has 233 ducats. Actually, how much does Lanzing have? Because I could always sell it back to them. They're not rival to me. Lanzing has 56 ducats, so they're actually in a worse spot. They make 189 a month. How much does Ayutthaya have? They have 877 ducats. I think I may take stuff and give it to them. Right now, though, I'm going to take all these provinces around them. I will kill you. Yeah, I killed you. Told you I'd kill you. I don't think there's any reason to go over here. They don't have anything, really. Don't care about them revoking cores. Keimer's my rival, so I can't do anything with them. This province development is 5. I think I'll take those 3 provinces. Sell this to Ayutthaya, sell that to Lan Na. Sell this one back to Lanzing. And then I keep this one. War reps really isn't going to be that much because they don't have much money. So I'll just have them give me ducats. They're not really going to have much money after this, but that's alright. So I get my province that I need. Alright, and then these guys were going to give me ducats, transfer trade, war ups. I humiliate them. Actually, do they even want this province? They might not buy it. Nope, they would buy it. For 295 ducats. Congratulations, Ayutthaya, you're the owner of Muang Fan. And then I'd like these guys to be my tributary. But they don't want to. They will buy this province, though. That's only going to make them not want to be my tributary even more, because they have more development now. I'll try improving with them, maybe they'll do it. And then these guys don't really have any money. And this province isn't cored. Most of these provinces don't have cores, so I can't actually release countries and make them tributaries or anything. So it's pretty much just giving them back. How much money do they have? They would buy that province for 9 ducats. 10 prestige for 9 ducats. Probably not going to get much better than that because they don't really make much. They make 2 ducats. And I imagine they have loans. So, congratulations, you can buy that province for 9 ducats. Alright, so that is Vietnam. That is the greatest territorial extent. I think what I'm going to do is, for these other provinces, these other trade nodes, because the way trade works, you need provinces in those nodes. I was thinking some kind of system where I like conquer these provinces, but then I release them. So I don't own them, they just become vassals. Something like that. Because I really don't want to own those provinces myself. But the trade system is different now, so it punishes going super tall. And I don't think a tributary system would work because they'd be open to attack. So I think something like that. I'm gonna put those ships over there. My force limit is 18. I'm gonna go ahead and build up a couple units. There's no reason not to. Improve relations with them. Nobody will transfer trade to me. Make that a core. Oh, I forgot to do that, commissions. That's alright. We make close to 2 ducats now. We make 2 ducats now. What's my stability? Stability is pretty bad. So that actually costs... There we go. Okay. So that, when you build troops, your manpower cost is in realm expenses. So when you build troops, it shouldn't actually increase your cost, because it should transfer that manpower cost from your realm expenses into your raised regiment maintenance. So decreasing this isn't really going to do much. I suppose what you could do is, if you wanted to decrease your expenses, you could build up to your force limit and then cut your troop cost in half. I think that negatively affects your military, though. So it's probably not the best thing to do. I'm gonna drill those troops. And building up to your force limit to drill them doesn't really matter anymore, because army professionalism is not tied to drill. You get army professionalism every month. I don't know what's based on, but you have a cap now of army professionalism, and you'll get it every month. There's some ideas that give you more professionalism. Don't know where they are. Alright, census time. The census should appear a little bit different because I did conquer this province, but there's only 10,000 people living here, so it shouldn't be that much different. There's no urban industry, there's no academic industry. There's 13 units of farmland, so it'll give a small boost to food production. But that should be offset by their demand. Here's pop statistics, 15,000 tenants, residents. Did these build? Okay, this one built, but then it looks like it actually decayed. Or did it? I don't see it. If I try to build that again, if it's really cheap, no province can construct that. Yet it shows rank 2. Maybe it hasn't updated. Weird. We're still negative 809. That should decrease once that's built. And decrease a little bit once this is built. Yeah, food production is now 918. It's pretty bad. I'm going to have to go and do that again. Do another food production. Consumer goods decreased 2. Industrial goods decreased 1 or so. Luxury goods decreased as well. Okay. That's weird. So those are definitely not as easy to influence as rural districts. There we go. Okay, now it updated. It was weird. So that should change from negative 300 to hopefully positive. So that should be a pretty big swing. Should hopefully cut my residence change by half from negative 800 to hopefully like negative 400. Because that cap is now 80,000. So we're way under our cap in that province. Our capital is actually increasing. 30,000 people there. There's only 15,000. Okay, so this province, they're dying. 165. Cap is 30,000. There are 38,000. So I have 1,200 ducats now. Rank 3 in this province would cost 830 ducats. I'm going to hold off on that, actually. I also don't think I'm going to build roads, because I have a river system up here, and everywhere else is pretty close to the ocean, so I don't think roads are really going to be much of a priority for me. And then garrisons, of course, won't be built, because courthouses don't do anything, as far as I know. They still don't do anything. Irrigation, capital up here, probably somewhere down here. This province might get another get a capital as well, maybe this one, so like 3 capitals eventually will be built. Irrigation and up there and down here in those heartlands, garrisons on all the forts. And then amenities in all of the provinces with trade modifiers. So I'm not sure I want to pay 830 ducats there right now. I think I'll leave that alone for now, and then put that money into food production. Hey Zia, do you want to subsidize me? Speaking of which, I never really do this because it's kind of annoying, but you can check other countries' censuses by selecting their province. The thing is, you have to deselect. You have to wait a month to deselect them, so I just find that kind of annoying. But you can do that, so I'm gonna do that with a song. I'll actually do it with all 3 of these guys. Let's see. Yeah, so I looked at this before. I thought my natural change in terms of peasants was nice. Song has 132,000 natural change. That's a lot. They're growing by 132,000 peasants a year without conquering new territory. It's a lot. The resident size is 1 million. 410,000 nobles. They only have 17,000 burghers, so I think I have 7,000 burghers, so they don't have a whole lot more burghers in my country. And this number is wrong, but it says 159 million people. Their tenants are actually pretty poor. My tenant income is around 0.8. That fluctuates maybe 0.1, so between 0.7 and 0.9. I don't have nomads. The resident income is actually pretty good, so their residents are doing pretty well for themselves. And then nobles, burghers, clergy. In terms of their industry, they produce 5,292 units of food and they demand 5,421, so they have a food deficit. They have a salt deficit by 131 units. They have a fiber surplus, fuel surplus, raw material surplus, exotic good deficit, consumer deficit, military is good for them, naval is good for them, industrial is pretty much good, luxury, they have a luxury deficit as well, they produce a lot of knowledge, commerce, 212, their commerce is not that great. They don't have a whole lot of centers of trade. Because I think my commerce is around 120, so my commerce size is like half of theirs. But that's the... I'll look at Ming. Because Ming has the Chinese... I don't know if I would say that heartland, but they have the Chinese... the most populous Chinese provinces. So their peasant size is growing by 191,000 a year, so that's pretty massive as well. 60,000 better than Song. But the residents are dying at 5,400, but they have 3 million residents in their country, which is, I think, 3 times the size of Song, and like 30 times the size of my country, 15 or 30 times the size of my country. But their burger size is only 17,000, which is on par with Song as well. Their peasants are extremely poor at 0.36. Their life is 1.37, comfort 0.78, luxury 0.555. Their resident wealth, their residents are doing pretty good, 1.8 versus 1.4. And their burgers are doing incredibly well as well, 261 versus 67. They also have a food deficit. They have a huge salt deficit. They have a fiber surplus, fuel deficit, raw material deficit, because their cities produce a lot. It's not a good deficit. Consumer deficit. It actually makes me think, do their cities produce a lot if they have a massive consumer deficit? Industrial deficit. They have a luxury surplus. Looks like their cities just produce luxuries. They produce silk. Knowledge is actually pretty good. Commerce is on par with Song. Xia is pretty much just worse than the 3 of them, so I won't look at theirs. I'll check out these guys, because of these 4, the Mongols... I think they're actually the best. Well, they can't compete with Ming's residents. But in terms of tenants, I think they're the best. They at least make the most money. I believe. No, Ming makes the most money. No, Ming has the most money. Okay, yeah, Ming makes the most money, then Song, Xia. Okay, so Yuan actually is... Wait, what? They make 7 ducats? Okay, apparently they make 7 ducats. I was completely off, but they have the highest... How do they support this army? That's interesting. I thought they were the most powerful because they had the most powerful army. Probably... I've never actually played over here, so I assume that's probably because they're tribal levies or something, so they don't actually pay for those. I did not think they would only make 7 ducats. That's insanely small. Yeah, their population is about 9 million-ish. A little bit less than 9 million. National change, 23,000. And of course, they don't really have many residents. Their peasants actually aren't that bad in terms of income. 0.57. Residents as well. Burgers are doing pretty nice. That's probably all those provinces that they took from Song, so this area is where most of that comes from. See, you can do clear selected provinces, and technically these provinces are still selected. So if you forget and you turn off your computer, or you get out of your save and then you go back, it makes things weird because you'll still be selecting those provinces. which it says I'm still selecting provinces. Not sure what provinces I'm selecting, actually. Deselect those, deselect those, deselect those. Those are the only 4 that I actually selected, so there we go. There's some province in one of those 4 countries that was being selected for some reason. And then just to look, mine, tenant 4.2, which actually apparently that's half of yuan's. 15,000. Natural change, actually, so we're getting 15,000 despite having half of theirs. They're having 22,000, I think, 23,000. So our natural change is better than theirs. Then residence 200, there we go. Natural change is now negative 458, so that cut that in half. So that should be good. Should be better. Looks like our tenant wealth actually decreased to 0.675. I'm trying to get comfort and luxury up. So I definitely want to go back to food production. Can't really do much with salt. That's going to hit a cap eventually. Fiber, fuel, raw material, exotic goods really didn't change much. Consumer, industrial, luxury decreased. Our commerce production is, production, which I think is like size. Commerce is weird, but that's 117. Commerce size, so your sector will buy and sell, and then the sector makes a profit from buying and selling goods, so from trade, and then it will assign that income to provinces depending on their commerce size. So if you have a huge commerce size in one province, it will get more money than the other provinces in that sector. But I'm going to end this part here and probably go for a little bit and then go from there. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.